You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
UTSA is in the books. Tonight, we're talking about the Tigers' improved run game. We're taking a look at this awesome Liberty Bowl locker room, and we'll preview Temple, the start of AAC play.
The game is on.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
Believe it or not, we're a third of the way through the year already after this one with Texas San Antonio. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
And I'm Jarvis Greer. Let's check out the highlights with Cassie Carlson.
UTSA coming in undefeated and bringing a totally different style of play than what the Tigers saw against Mississippi State. A run-heavy offense and a dual-threat quarterback, but almost deja vu from the start of last week's game. UTSA's first drive, they fumble the snap. It bounces into the end zone where Dallas Ducksworth hops on it for the touchdown. 7-0 Tigers early, back-to-back games where Memphis starts with a defensive TD. Later in the first, Memphis back in the red zone. Rodriguez-Clark finds the gap and takes a hit on his way to the promised land. In from 7 yards out, the Tigers extend their lead. 14-0 game in the first. Seth Hennigan with time, he airs it out, and on the receiving end is none other than Kelvin Austin III. A 60-yard touchdown puts the Tigers up 3 scores. They were cooking in the first quarter. Second quarter, UTSA starts getting some offense going, including their Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. Sincere McCormick, who scores the first Roadrunners touchdown. They're on the board and make it a 21-7 game. McCormick would add another touchdown in the third to make it a 1-score game. They were down 21-0 and they come back. End of the third quarter, Tigers run a double reverse as Hennigan finds a wide open Sean Dykes on the outside hash. Dykes keeping cool under pressure in this game. The fifth-year senior with a career-high 6 catches for 167 yards. His biggest was a 53-yard reception, picking up a lot of yards after the catch. Brandon Thomas will make it a 2-score game again as he punches in his 4th touchdown of the season. UTSA scores another touchdown to make it 28-21. Tigers driving. Hennigan sees pressure. He scrambles and is stripped of the ball while he is taken down. UTSA takes over in the red zone and leave it to McCormick to put up his 3rd score of the day, and that one ties the game. What a momentum shift. 2 seconds left on the clock. UTSA in field goal range. They hit a 42-yard game winner to steal the game in Memphis, 31-28. Here's Jarvo and Wolo with Ryan Silverfield after the game.
No way around it. This one is heartbreaking. Coach, a big lead, mistakes, penalties. They always kill a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Way too many mistakes. Offense, defense, special teams, but not the cleanest execution. And obviously a lot to clean up. I think our guys fought hard, but it wasn't our best effort all in all. You can't have 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter, expect to be in a game. We have to be more efficient in stopping the run game, and then too many penalties that put us behind drives.
I think we have to give great credit to Sincere McCormick. His day today, he was the best player on the field.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, there's a reason why he was a preseason All-American, Conference USA Player of the Year, and he handed it to us. He runs hard, and they're a reason they're a 4-0 team, and we're 3-1. And we've got a lot to work on, but credit to UTSA. They outplayed us today, they outcoached us, and I know our guys are going to lick their wounds and come back hungry, ready to work.
You talk about licking your wounds. One thing that you have to learn in this business, college football, the pros, whatever, is you don't just come out winning everything for the freshmen. Sometimes you got to build some scar tissue.
This is the first time Seth Hennigan's lost a regular season game in quite a few years. And, Brandon Thomas had a lot of success running the ball, and when you turn the ball over in the opponent's red zone, it probably hurts, and we need to learn from these things. And the nice thing, if I know anything about those 2 young men, is they'll bounce back from this. They'll come back hungrier, wanting to work harder, and the buy-in's there, right? I know our guys feel wholeheartedly about the way we do things and are all in the way we do our program. And We'll work, we'll get better, but those two 18-year-olds will come back swinging.
One of your seniors, J.J. Russell, said, the game's won and lost in that week of practice. The game is on Saturday. That's the fun time, but you got to learn to love the grind. And that's something I know you guys are going to get back and work on all week.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're going to work, and that's the only thing I know is to continue to push, and that's what we have to do. And we're going to go back to, we don't need to reinvent the wheel tomorrow, but find the things that we can do well and find ways to execute them. And we got to have a great week of practice because we know, look, we're heading to conference play. We better bring our best foot forward.
We've seen the importance of the running game, that's for certain. And as far as that aspect goes, the genesis of that began for the Tigers this past summer. Last year, the coaches were not exactly all that pleased with the running game. So, Ryan, this year, revamped offensive line. You found a game breaker in Brandon Thomas. How do you feel about it now?
Look, those were those things we discussed, right? I think the offensive line has been able to play a little bit better at a higher level, changed up some guys there. I talked about receivers blocking better on the perimeter. I think that was going to be important for us. Tight ends stepping up, and then the running backs running the ball the right way. And we talked about it, right? Finding that game changer. We rotated a lot of running backs last year. We know Brandon Thomas is the bell cow. We've been pleased with Rodriguez Clark. We got other running backs, Kylan Watkins, Marcavius Weaver. The list goes on and on of guys that we know can carry the ball for us. But pleased overall with the way it's running, and we need to continue that.
To be that bell cow back, as you talk about it, it's you're getting the ball every time. This guy's a redshirt freshman. That's a lot to put on his shoulders. A little bit about his demeanor at practice. What makes him have that mindset to know that he's going to be the guy that's going to tote the mail most of the time? Yeah,
look, another young running back. With all due respect, he's a guy that really didn't play much for us at all last year. In fact, didn't dress for most games. So a young guy that's green behind the ears back there, but he understands. And we always talk to him. The number one thing with young running backs is own the football, ball security. And so every time he goes in the huddle, I said, own the football. I don't care if you get a yard, own that football. Bring it back, hand it to the referee every single time. And that's important to him. He's a big, powerful, strong runner. He has great vision for one of those bigger backs for a young age. He's about 208 pounds right now, who's just now learning to understand the variety of run game schemes we use. But he's got the right mindset. If he had his way, he'd say, hand me the ball 30 times a game. Obviously, we try to find that fine balance with our offense and our other great backs.
So Thomas is your star. What do you want from your former starter in Drake, and what are you hoping to get out of Marcavius Weaver, who's gotten a bunch of carries?
Yeah, look, Rodriguez Clark's a young man that has started games for us. But if you look at last year, we started 5 different running backs in games. So like I said, they're all starters, and we all expect high expectations for all of them. But Rodriguez Clark's a guy, you see him, he's running the ball harder than he ever has. He's made some great catches out of the backfield. So those are one of those things we challenge him with, is being a more versatile back. He's also now a 3-phase starter on special teams, which is huge to me. I look at that as just as important as being the starting running back. And then you get a guy like Marcavius Weaver. If you saw, sometimes he's been lined up at the fullback position. We do some split backs, great on third down and protections, but also handles the rock. We saw him make those great long breaking tackles versus Arkansas State, a guy that we also trust, and he's a 4-phase special team starter. So I think challenging those guys to find a way on the field and help us out has been tremendous.
Now, here before, when you had Darrell Henderson, Patrick Taylor in that running back room, they called themselves the Savages. Does this group have a nickname for itself?
Well, they're still the Savages. Coach Jones has done a fantastic job with that running back group. And look, I'm okay with us being called RBU, right? Running Back University. And you talk about the 5 NFL running backs that we have right now on rosters, which is great. And we've been significant and been very fortunate to have some great ones. And like I said, I've been pleased with the effort of the offensive line. They're blocking better, the tight ends and the wide receivers finishing blocks. They've been priding themselves. We actually pointed out in meetings, right? Calvin Austin, doesn't matter how many catches you had, but look at this block right here and how you sprung this. Javon Ivory, look how important it is what you were able to do here. Sean Dykes on the backside, all those things. I think those are so important and integral for you to be able to maintain a running game throughout the season.
If you want to see where the Tigers get ready for game day, it starts right here at the Liberty Bowl locker room. We're giving you a tour right after the break.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
In 2018, the Tigers revealed this state-of-the-art locker room inside the Liberty Bowl. There's been a lot of big wins at home for the Tigers that all started right here. Safety Rodney Owens takes us through it. All right, Rodney, what stands out about this locker room?
First is the seats in the locker room, the TVs, all the display. I think that's a pretty nice thing, and especially the jersey showcase that we have over here that shows all the uniforms. I think that's pretty fun to see for everybody, and it's just a nice vibe.
All right, so now we're in your locker room portion. We have the defensive backs all around here. Your locker's behind us. So you guys go straight from the Tiger Walk into the locker room, and do you come straight to your locker and start getting prepared for game time?
Yeah, so when I come in, I pretty much will, because we usually have to be on the field within like 10 or 15 minutes to go walk the field with our position coach, and we'll kind of do a little warm-up drill or so. So when I come in, yeah, they'll have our little coat hangers ready for us. Take your suit off, take your suit and tie off, and hang it up and put it in the bag for the managers to put away.
Question about the suits, because every program does it differently. You guys showed up looking nice and sharp, no sweatsuits. Is that because it's business or what?
The suits always remind us that it's a business approach to do what we need to do, and it's better to come in a suit and feeling nice and ready to play.
All right, so it's halftime. You guys are coming back in here. What's the routine in those 20 minutes?
Well, the first thing, the best part, is getting the snacks when you first come in. We have the peanut butter jelly sandwiches and the oranges, little tangerines they have for us. And then we usually have chairs set up right here. So we have chairs for the defense. It's the same side. It's the same thing for the offense too. And we'll kind of get Gatorade, electrolytes, everything that we need back into our system as we're waiting, as the coaches are meeting. Coach Mack always likes to come in and use the board. He always likes to draw the formations. So he'll draw the offensive line for us, and he'll just go over each play that we need to work on or anything like that.
You transferred into Memphis. How does this locker room compare to some of the others you've seen?
By far, this is the best. I think it's more modern than most of the other locker rooms I've been in, especially with the video screens and all the screens that we have up for the highlights and all the things that we have in here and the resources we have. I think this is pretty nice.
What is the feeling when you walk in here and you know you're gearing up for a game?
Well, when you walk in, the music already blaring pretty loud, so you already have no choice but to have enthusiasm. It just come in, it's just like you're ready to lock in. You're just ready to go out on the field and take over. We should call it the Tiger Den. You just got everybody in here kind of prowling around, everybody just doing their own little thing, getting ready to play. There's a lot of sayings on the walls here. You see Anthony Miller right there. What do those serve for you? Is it a reminder or motivation? What is it? Yeah, it's definitely a reminder and motivation, because it just shows us that there were people here before us that didn't have all these things, and without them, we wouldn't have these things here now. So we just like to always pay our respect to the ones that came before us and that really built this program for us. And we're just here to keep putting on the show for them. Any Tiger alums that you personally really look up to? Yes, it was actually crazy because I didn't know that Isaac Bruce went to Memphis until recently, until everybody it was all a big thing with him getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. And so I used to always look up to him when I was younger. He was a great receiver. I used to love football when I was a baby. So I just remember the days when he played with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk, Terry Holt, all those guys. Did you get to meet him? Yeah, we did. Before the game, he talked to us. We always have a tradition before the game that we walk the stadium, and we always have some alumni that come talk to us before the game. So he was the one that gave us the final speech before we came out to play Mississippi State.
Since the locker room was renovated, there's been many celebrations in it. From winning the AAC championship in 2019 to last week's Mississippi State win, it's been a gathering place for memories and Tiger traditions. Okay, well, you've been a part of several big wins here. Mississippi State, one of those big wins. Yeah. Break the rock after every win. What was that one like? First of all, we're psyched to do that every game. That's our goal. Every game is to break the rock. Each opponent, we have their logo printed on the rock. And so basically, whoever had the best practice that week or whoever's been the greatest leader during the week gets to carry the hammer. And so it's a big thing for us to carry the hammer because you're the leader and you're on the showcase for that week. Once we win, it's always the player of the game or who had the biggest impact on the game will get to break the rock. I don't know, it make you feel powerful, as I can say. So your teammates are happy, they're happy for you. That means you had a great game, and it's a fun time to get to break the rock. This week was great because not only was this the first time that the players were chanting to see who got to break the rock, because Coach Silverfield was trying to find who was the player of the game. So the offense started chanting Calvin and Austin, and then the defense came right back with J.J. Russell. So that was a special moment. That was the best moment I've had here since I've been here. So Silverfield is talking to you guys right before game time. Y'all are huddling together, lining up, and you're going to take the field. In those last couple moments before, it's game time and you're about to run out there, is it a different feeling? What feeling do you get? Oh yeah, that's when all the juices get flowing. That's when your butterflies get to going. It's about time to go play.
What's your favorite part about playing at the Liberty Bowl?
My favorite part is just having the fans here, the support of the fans, and just knowing that the whole city is watching and you have the whole city behind you. So this is always great to hear them, and especially when they're chanting, it's the best.
Rodney Owens is quite the host. That was terrific. And Coach, I remember the first time I walked into that locker room, I went, man, this is space age. How beautiful.
Yeah, we're so very fortunate. I think the Liberty Bowl locker room is one of the best in the country, right? The renovations we were able to do a few years ago, thanks to the city and so many great donations, it's absolutely outstanding, right? The space, the up-to-date things. You talk to, it looks like space age. I mean, it's bright colors, loud music. Our players absolutely love it. It's one of those one-of-a-kind deals. You know, it's great atmosphere on game day. It's great when we can have recruits see it. We're very, very fortunate.
One thing that's really something, like I played here a long time ago in the 70s, and you go in the Liberty Bowl locker room then, it was a concrete floor. You talk about the sights and sounds of college football, that was it, right, in your locker room. But just to see when the old guys come back, the veterans come in and look at it, the pride that they feel in the program.
Well, I think that goes for everything, right? We talked about our facilities a few weeks ago, and the pride that the former players are able to see, wow, this is the direction our program's heading in, right? The pride our current players feel in it, and then also our future Tigers. So the Liberty Bowl locker room's absolutely outstanding. So many wonderful features about it, and we're really proud of it.
Since you mentioned recruiting, can you give us a story of a kid that maybe you won over because of that little beautiful palace?
Well, I think part of it is, right? People come and see our wonderful, outstanding facilities here at South Campus and all the things we have. But when we have the opportunity to go take them to Liberty Bowl Stadium, they walk through that tunnel, they see the big, beautiful, historic, amazing stadium, and then we open up that garage door, right? The glass garage door, and they turn around and they see all the bright lights and the colors, and I think they're just wowed. And most of the kids walk away and say, I had no idea that Memphis had all these wonderful things, and I think that's what's made it such a special place.
You know, that's the big deal. You know, D'Angelo Williams used to talk about going out of the Tiger Head. Now you've got the way that the door opens, and it opens to the expanse of the stadium, and it's just really something for the players to take part in.
Quite a special, makes for a great atmosphere on game day for sure.
The Tigers don't get to be back in here until the 14th when they host Navy, but first they have Temple to start AAC play. We preview it coming up next.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
To Philadelphia, Pennsylvania we go, and Coach, I know you know, we owe Temple one for Joey Magnifico's sake.
This will be our first true away game, right? We've been very fortunate to stay in Memphis for our 4 previous games, and now all of a sudden we're getting on a plane, flying up to Philadelphia. We're going to lose an hour and play in a huge stadium, a different atmosphere, and we know we've struggled playing at Temple, so we're going to have our hands full, but you know what I'm excited about? Our first conference game, and the opportunity to go play a team like Temple that we have a history with. It'll be quite an exciting venue.
You are going on the road. Think about the American Athletic Conference. We're playing in cities, and you're playing in an NFL stadium. It's one of the best stadiums there is. And how do you get the players that hadn't been there to get that the awe out of the factor out of the way?
And I think that's part of it, right? I mean, the thing I love about Philadelphia is Kenny Gainwell, Jake Elliott, and Jernard Avery. That's why I love about that stadium. But other than that fact, I think that is part of it. And us having so many new faces going to that first away game, there's going to be a lot of things we have to discuss. I think, on our way on Friday, just understanding this is a different environment.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Let's just hope Lincoln Financial Field will be kind to our Tigers. We take a quick pause and come back, and we'll wrap this show up.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
That is our show for this evening, but we want to invite you to come back next week where you'll meet up close and personal Calvin Austin. Have a great week, everybody.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. Next time you need a car battery, just pick it up. Visit AutoZone.com and select same-day store pickup. Just one reason why AutoZone is America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the University of Memphis Sports Network. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.